My dear people of Southern Cameroons, today is the 22nd of September 2020. And I'm sorry, when I was recording yesterday, I'm sure with a slip of the tongue and some degree of excitement, I talked about the 22nd of September while it was 21st. But that was actually 21st. Today is the 22nd. I'm sure a lot of us have seen how the people of La République du Cameroon are now getting thirsty for change. They have understood the need to rise up against Mr. Paul Biya and tell him that enough is enough. It's really interesting, very amazing, the images you see in the city of Douala. I've seen people in Baham, seen people in Douala, seen people in a good lot of other places coming out in good numbers and defying the presence of the troops, defying the presence of the soldiers, defying the presence of the police, the gendarmes, everybody. All the people in uniform are there and they can see them. The people are marching. They are singing. They are saying it is time for change. They are saying Mr. Paul Biya needs to go. This is interesting. I love this. At least we have said over and over that they were orphaned because we have left them. We were those guiding them on how to fight for your rights. And I'm sure the 4 years that we have been going through carnage in the Southern Cameroons, in the once independent state of Southern Cameroons, has taught them one thing, something called resilience. They have started today. Let us watch and see exactly how it unfolds. But my dear people, the most exciting thing is not just that they have come out, it's exactly the behavior of the forces of law and order in that country. Take a clear look at how they have been acting since the people came out. No brutality. We have not seen any batons used against anybody. We have not seen any soldier, police or gendarme shoot or fire a bullet, even a rubber bullet, at anyone. No. They've only used water cannons and they've used tear gas. That is all. You all know exactly what will happen. If this were unfolding like this in Bamenda, in Boya, in Kumba, my dear brothers and sisters of the Southern Cameroons, for anyone who until today has still been asking themselves questions whether we ever really did belong in that triangle, the answers are all before you today. This is not the first time. We are yet to see even any arrests. The time that Mr. Njamin Celestin led people to demonstrate in Douala, and they were arrested and they were even fired at rubber bullets. And they were picked up and all or not they were kept. By this day, all of them have been released. I mean, all of them, all. They are all free. Now look at what is happening to our people. They pick you up even just because you don't have your identity card. But because you don't have money, 500,000, 600,000 to bribe your way back to freedom, they dump you in Kondengi and they give you seditious charges as secessionists and all of those things. And our people are there, dying in chains. Look at what is happening, dying with chains on their hands. We saw Mr. Tangem, Engineer Tangem, die in chains. We saw another comrade from the New Bell prison in Douala die in chains. There are many others undergoing serious torture everywhere on the territory of La République du Cameroon. That is exactly what has been unfolding with the people of the Southern Cameroons for at least 6 decades. I think that the international community, if they had been in doubt, this is the moment for them to see the difference. That these are two peoples, two different countries, and two different destinies. They can open their eyes today and see for themselves that as far as the people, the authorities of La République du Cameroon are concerned, we are not citizens. We are just like the Israelites were in Egypt. The people of La République du Cameroon are free to rise up and make demands. They are free to take to the streets. Mancho BBC march in the streets of Bamenda, simply requesting that the bad roads and everything be fixed so that people can circulate in the city of Bamenda freely, so that businesses could begin to function again well and normally. In reaction, what did the government do? Mancho BBC is today in jail. He was slammed a 13-year jail term for rising up to say enough of the evil treatment that we are having. What is happening to Sisi Kwayuk Tabe, Paata Sang Wilfred, Pam Fongalam for Fidelis Ndoche, Cornelius Kwanga, All of the others, what is happening to them today? They are serving a life jail term for doing about the same thing that Maurice Kamto did when he led his people into the streets. Maurice Kamto is free. Maurice Kamto, as I'm speaking, is in Yaoundé, is in the capital Yaoundé, having his lunch and enjoying himself and everything. Even when Mr. Frundi, in his days as a chairman of the Social Democratic Front, stepped out to demonstrate, what happened to him? He was shot at. Yes, he was shot at. He was chased around like an animal. I remember once, he had to escape for dear life and found himself taking refuge at the residence of the ambassador of the Netherlands in Vole, Yaoundé. My dear people, for anyone who has still been doubting or who is being used by La République du Cameroun against this movement to make our people think that it is not right what we are doing, seeking at least to restore the soul of the Southern Cameroons, the souls of Southern Cameroonians, you can see for yourself today that you are simply being used because you will never be considered a human being in that triangle. My dear brothers and sisters, this was just a very brief discussion, what you call an off-the-cuff kind of discussion, to put us in context with exactly what is happening in La République du Cameroun today. Let us watch in admiration as they are enjoying their country, as they are enjoying the right to demonstrate, as they are enjoying the right to show anger, to show unhappiness, to show discontent, as they are enjoying the right to freely rise up against a system they don't like, because they are citizens. As second-rate citizens, we will not be given that opportunity. Just look at it. October 1st is coming. This is the time for us to call on the international community to become the first clear witnesses of the difference between the two peoples in the Cameroons. Because on October 1, which is a day we consider ought to be our Independence Day, I'm a restorationist, and I know that we will be able to attain our independence. That day ought to be the day that we were going to be fully independent. We commemorate that day. We celebrate that day, not because we believe that that is the day we're absolutely free, but because that is the day on which Siseko Julius Ayuk Tabe, acting as the chairman of the governing council, proclaimed that we have restored our independence. And now we are doing everything to actualize the restoration of that independence. So on this day, our people, we come out in a lot of places massively to show support for this movement. But I'm calling on the international community to open their eyes. Watch and see the kind of treatment our people will be subjected to. Our people will be faced with bullets. Our people will be faced with helicopter gunships. Our people will be faced with all kinds of explosives meant to kill, meant to maim. Our people will be faced with massive arrests and rape. This is the difference. No one needs to bring it again to the table. I will wish that the people at the State Department in the United States of America take particular note. I will wish that the members of the UN Security Council take particular note. I will wish that the officials of the African Union take particular note. I will wish that all those who have been saying all we need is simply some kind of decentralization, let them take note to see that we are two peoples with two destinies, two clearly different peoples, and we will never ever be treated the same in that triangle. It makes sense for the world to come to terms with the fact that what God has put asunder, let no man put together. To God be the glory.